Boy, I like that.
That's it.
Wow.
Let's go see how you did.
Hey, I feel confident on that one.
You do, huh?
I do. Boy,
That's-
that red dot, I tell you, once you get it, it's like, oh.
is that
perfect.
nice?
Something, no kidding. Maybe I didn't even hit it.
Oh yeah, you did. Holy smokes. You did awesome. That's 4 bullets there.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. You did amazing.
Wow, hey.
Jeez Louise, Steve, you're making me look bad.
Oh, whatever.
That's 4 bullet holes there. I mean, yeah, you got one here, but I mean, that's really freaking impressive.
I'm thinking, that's what I'm kind of looking at. I think I did pretty good on that.
Let's go see how we did, buddy.
Alrighty.
See if you showed me up. You think you showed me up on this one? I think you did, because that group of yours was pretty phenomenal. Oh,
I don't know.
you did, buddy. I think you did. I think for group size I might be smaller, but you got 4 one ragged hole there. So I think that's still pretty good. I think for me I got to adjust it back over, maybe a click to the right.
Click, okay.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yep. Welcome back to Elster's Rifles and Reloading, part 2 of this PSA AK-47 review. And I promise I'll make this short and simple and to the point, just the way I like it. Well, I finally got the Magpul bipod adapter on my Magpul AKM front handguard, so I can get on my Harris bipod. And for me, at least, with the surgery and my neck and shoulder issues, this definitely makes my life a lot easier. And I'm sure when I go to the range, hopefully it'll squeeze out every bit of accuracy out of this PSA AK-47. So what I wanted to do today was go out to the range and test some brass cased 7.62 by 39 ammo in comparison to the Wolf steel case ammunition to see if it'll make a difference in terms of accuracy. Now, obviously you and I both know there's other types of 7.62 by 39 brass case ammunition. It's probably even better than this American Eagle. American Eagle is actually made by Federal, and I've actually used American Eagle in my 308 AR-10s before, and it's actually surprisingly accurate. But you know, brass cased ammunition, more times than not, has a tendency to be more accurate than steel case ammunition. Brass is more soft in comparison to steel, obviously. When you fire that ammunition, that brass expands and seals off better in the chamber, creating more consistent velocities. So in theory, it should be more accurate, but this one 20-round box of ammunition cost me $15, $14.99 at Shields. And obviously in part 1, you already know that I got this 1,000 rounds of Wolf steel case ammunition from Brownells shipped for $185. I think that works out to roughly $3.80 per 20 round box. That's a huge price difference. I mean, we're talking, you know, $11, $12 difference between these 20 round count boxes. So I just wanted to try this out. I've never done this before, to see if I can get an exponential amount more accuracy out of this brass case ammunition in comparison to the Wolf ammunition. And if I don't, and if it's close, really for me, this rifle is all about not reloading and just having a good time plinking at the range. And I guess for me to justify paying that much more money for brass case ammunition, it would have to be twice as accurate. And that's what my objective of this video is, to see the difference. Enough said, let's take this to the range and see how it does. Alright, so we got the bipod adapter and the bipod on the AK. And I'm going to run 2 5-shot groups each with the brass cased American Eagle full metal jacket, which I actually believe is made by Federal, and 2 5-shot groups with the good old trusty Wolf steel case ammo full metal jacket at 50 yards. So I don't know, I would have to say the Wolf damn near did as good as the American Eagle with brass casing. You know, I think that American Eagle is actually made by Federal. You know, this last group I just shot here, you know, got 3 and 1 hole there and 2 off on the side, so that's about a, I don't know, 2.5 inch group. This one here I would say is about 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches. As for the Wolf, you know, there's 4 bullets right here, a little cluster, one off to the right here, you know, opening that up to about 2 inches. And the very first group with Wolf was actually probably the best of all 4 of them, which is pretty remarkable. We're talking dead center here. It's probably about 1.25 inches. So, well, it's just, I figured the American Eagle would actually do better, but you know, the Wolf's right on par. So anyway, let's run a couple groups at 100 yards between the Wolf and the American Eagle and see how she turns out. All right. So at 100 yards, so I would definitely say the American did better. They're both pretty atrocious actually, but you know, for an AK, this barrel is smoking red hot right now. You know, obviously if this was one of my AR-15s or AR-10s, this wouldn't be acceptable, but you know, for an AK full metal jacket, it's not too bad. You know, I would say the American on the bottom left is probably about 3.5, 4 inch group. The one on the right here for the American, pretty much the same thing. I'd say about 3.5. The Wolf on top, pushing about 3.5, 4, and the same on the right. So yeah, actually pretty even across the board. So for how much more I need to spend on the American full metal jackets, I think I spent $15 for 20 rounds. Has brass casing. The Wolf full metal jacket I got for $185 for 1,000, which comes out to, I think off the top of my head, roughly about $380 a box. So I would say with the performance difference between these two, it's kind of a no-brainer. I'm just going to stick with a Wolf. Why spend the money on brass cased, more expensive ammo? So anyways, we'll get this ran back to the reloading room and get this scored up. Well, I thought for sure this American Eagle brass case ammunition would have worked better than the Wolf cheap and expensive ammo. The fact that the Wolf actually did better at 50 yards I thought was pretty spectacular. And the American Eagle at 100 yards, yes, it did a little bit better, but not $12, $13 more better. And I guess the future, at least for my AK-47 for plinking and having a good time at the range, is going to be the Wolf ammunition, which I did purchase another 1,000 rounds for $185 shipped. At that price, at least today, as of 2018, you can't go wrong. So I kept my brass from this range trip just in case I might reload for this AK-47, which I highly doubt will ever happen. Let me see if I can focus in a little bit better here. But for those that might possibly reload for a PSA AK-47, if you're interested, you know, it actually looks remarkable. I would have no issues reloading this brass whatsoever. I mean, yeah, there's a couple very minor dents in the side of the case body, but I don't see that affecting the reloading process at all. But the only thing I notice is the heavily cratered primers, which I'm sure this is probably over powdered, and that might be typical for an AK-47. Maybe, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I really don't know. I never reloaded for AK-47. And you know, if some of you have, maybe make those comments. I'd like to hear them. But for me personally, this looks pretty spectacular. The case mouth openings are perfectly round, and the brass in general looks amazing for reloading. Well, stay tuned to part 3 of this PSA AK-47, where I'll most likely run this back out to the 100-yard range and run another 6x5 now that I had the bipod adapter on and the Harris bipod, to see if it makes a difference. Other than that, please subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you next time.